Hello, everyone, and welcome into another episode of Open Mic. Really excited for the show today. A little bit later, we're going to be interviewing one of my best friends who I've known since really my freshman year of high school, Austin Lienemann. Right now, was a former college golfer, breaking into the golf world as a professional. So going to be really exciting to talk about that transition, growing up, everything in between. Maybe we'll even get a good swing tip out of it. I don't know, but really excited to talk with him about a lot of things. It is open mic after all. But before we get into that, I want to talk about our relationship with time as it relates to being in school and being out of school. And this was something that I've been thinking about a lot and really crystallized for me Monday as I was flying back from Boston here to Denver. It's a 4.5 hour flight. You have a lot of time to think. And really the way I see it is that pre-professional life and professional life really boil down to two different things. So in the pre-professional world, it's more of a movie. It feels like a movie. You have a natural beginning, middle, and end in that you start the school year, you have the middle of the school year, the end of the school year, things wrap up, you go back in August, and you do it all over again. There's a cast of characters that don't really change year to year. Truthfully, it's a whole lot of very similar people, whether it's parents, siblings, teachers. The people aren't going to change. And then really in addition to that, it is a shorter game with a little bit of a shorter relationship. In a movie, you're going in and you have that really relationship for 2 hours and that's it. And then you move on and you go on with your life. Whereas professional life, post-college life, whatever you want to call it, is a little bit more like a TV show. So there aren't going to be many clean breaks. There's actually probably going to be a lot of cliffhangers. The cast of characters is going to change not only season to season, but episode to episode. And then you're playing a longer game with a longer relationship. You think of TV shows that have been on for so long, whether it's The Office, Parks and Rec, Game of Thrones. I mean, that relationship is stretching for over a decade. You're looking at in some instances hundreds of hours spent with this show and with a relationship like that. And that is what professional life is like. And that really what it comes down to is it's easier to be patient. What I've kind of been learning and what I've been thinking about is it's easier to be patient in school because at the max you're really only looking at playing something out over a 4-year span, whether it's in high school or college. Maybe it's a 5-year span, but really the game is only at the most a 4-year span. Whereas in business and life, you're looking at, you get out of college in your 20s, live till, 70, 80, possibly 90 years old. You're looking at potentially 50, 60, 70 years of game left to play. And the way I see it is that, the kind of to pull it into a sports comparison is that, when you're getting into your professional life and you're playing and you're only playing with you're looking at that 4-year time horizon as really long because that's all you've had to play for most of your life, that it's like playing a basketball game and you're only playing for the first 4 minutes of the first quarter, or playing a football game and you're only playing for the first half of the first quarter, when in reality you've got 44 minutes to go in a basketball game. You've got a whole lot of football left in a football game. But in school, it's something that we've only seen the time horizon as, at most 4 years, whereas in life it's, like I said, it could be 50, 60, 70 years. And that's kind of the length of the time horizon you're playing. That's the full game. In high school, college, you're playing only the first couple of minutes of that game. And what I've, been thinking on is, especially as, I've transitioned out of kind of the school world, the education world, and into the professional world, is that there's going to be ebbs and flows, and that year to year it's going to be like playing a sport. It's going to be like being in a TV show. There's going to be ups, there's going to be downs. Sometimes for a period of time you're going to be white hot, you just can't miss, whereas other times nothing is going to seem to drop. The whole world is going to seem against you, and nothing is going to feel like it's working. And that is something that I have, personally been struggling with to come to grips with, because, I was so used to, playing the 4-year game or the 2-year game or the 1-year game. And it was easier to be patient because, I knew that was how long it was going to last. Whereas, now you're looking at 50, 60, 70 years. And that's how long the game lasts. And it's changing that relationship with time that, has become something that I've been really, conscious of recently, and I'm really starting to work on now. And it's just readjusting with time, because, we've been living in those little movies for the first 20 something years of your lives, as opposed to, now you're playing a TV show type game. You're going to be doing this for, multiple seasons, multiple years. The cast is going to change. People are going to change. That relationship is going to be deeper. And you're going to have to realize, as part of that there's going to be ebbs and flows. And, a great example is, as I've been reflecting on this, is, been with Homecoming. We launched, I think last month or maybe a month and a half ago. And I found myself last week getting really down on the fact that, we hadn't sold any t-shirts, or we'd only sold a few t-shirts, truthfully. And then I had to kind of get, snap back out of it, in that, t-shirts haven't even come yet. Only, just this week, 2 of our first 5 t-shirts arrived, and I was getting down about not having a ton of pre-orders. But the reality is when you're playing maybe a year game, that's tough, because now you only have, you're 2 months in or a month and a half in, you've got, 10 months left to sell a lot of product. But the reality is it's a business, and, you need to be, building for forever, in perpetuity. The business is going to be around for as long as you can keep it around. And it's not going to be something where, it gets to a year from now and you reevaluate and it's, and it's over. It's something where this is, going to be existing for, not just 5 years, not just 10 years, but, many years after that. And that, a month and a half pocket of, not having a ton of pre-orders, isn't the end of the world, because you're playing the long game. I think of Top Form as well, in that, just a year ago we were in our summer program and really enjoying it. And just this week we shipped out beta product, which is incredible to think of. We've been, spending, for the last, 6, 7, 8 months refining the product, doing a lot of R&D, getting it to a place where we can have that beta product. And, this whole time I thought, we were slow, we were way behind in the pack. But the truth is that these things take years. They take months to be able to accomplish. And that this isn't something where, whereas in school you're doing a project over a couple of months, or maybe even at the most a year, or a semester, where it kind of has a natural beginning and a natural end to it. This is something where the beginning, where to start, but the end, you don't know where it is. And there's going to be a whole lot of stuff that happens in the middle. And then on top of that, there's going to be ebbs and flows, and that, things aren't going to be fitting neatly, into different, semester, yearly type feels like they were in school. And that's been, like I said, something that I've been thinking a lot about recently. And, as I've reflected a lot this week, last week, and really, it's starting, as it's been, on my mind more, that with any of this, whether it's, business, whether it's life, once you, kind of leave, that those first 20 years of your life and move into the real world, that it's a long game. Things are going to take time. Things are going to happen, over 5, 10, 15 year spans. They're not going to happen over 1 year spans and 2 year spans. And another great example of that is Anchor. It's, we're in pre-order mode right now. We're taking pre-orders currently, and I have to snap myself out of the feeling that when we do ship those pre-orders, there's going to be some kind of a clean break. Because there's not. It's just going to mean we're shifting and we're entering the next phase. And that, to think that there's going to be a period of time, when we're shipping product and we're going to have product readily available and inventory readily available, it's something that I have to think about constantly, because, I'm, have been so used to thinking in super small little pockets of time and getting as much done in those pockets of time, when in reality it's impatient, it's unrealistic, and it's something that I was, maybe trained, conditioned, whatever you want to call it, to think and to frame up time. And, that's how I was trained that way and conditioned that way in college. Or in high school and growing up, to where it's okay, it's 3 months, we're going to get a lot done. There's going to be a start set, a start end, and that's really how it's going to go. And, I even if you look at this show, Open Mic, this is only the second show ever. And, I'm planning on doing a lot more than 2 of these and getting better with all of them. And it's going to take time with something like this. And, I need to snap myself out of the fact that I'm going to post 1 and be really good at it. I'm going to post 2 and, be really good at it. When in reality, it's going to take, a whole lot before, really you find the format of the show and all that other stuff. So it's just something that, I've been thinking about. And, as I check here at my notes, I'm looking at, golf, I'm doing that right now. I'm only 1 week into that. I'm going to be playing for 40 years. So, to be frustrated with any of the balls that I'm shanking, quite frankly, it's a lot of them hooking, at a stage like this is crazy, because it's crazy, because, I'm going to be playing for 40 plus years. And, if I'm a week in, it's just not going to matter, in the long term. So I guess what the point of this is that our relationship with time, it needs to change once we leave school, and probably needs to start changing while we're in school. And when you make that switch and you start to realize that I have time, that there's going to be ebbs and flows, that this is just how life is. It's not going to be neatly packaged year to year, or 2 year to 2 year span, or 4 year spans. It's going to be messy. It's going to take time. It's going to require, a lot of deposits in the bank. The pressure goes away, the stress goes away, that crushing urgency, I feel like also goes away to do something and to get results. And what that really means is that you can start to build sustainably when you're doing that. You can start to now focus on the process, because you're realizing, hey, I'm not playing to win, I'm not playing to win, in 1 year's, 1 year, excuse me. I'm not playing to win in 1 year. I'm not playing to win in 2 years. I'm playing to win, in 5 years, in 10 years. And you can now, with that kind of frame in mind, build sustainably, focus on the work, focus on the process, and make those productive deposits in the bank. And you can set things up for longer, whereas opposed to if you're playing, within a 1 year time frame, there's an urgency, there's a need, you start to press, and there's that pressure. Whereas, shoot, if I'm playing the 5 year game, or the 10 year game, or the 20 year game, or the 40 or 50 year game, all of a sudden the pressure goes away, because I realize I have time, I have the ability to make changes, I have the ability and really the freedom to fail and to try new things, and to be successful at those things or fail at those things. And I think that's exciting, and I think it's exhilarating, and it's something that I've been working on and really was reflecting on a lot this week. So just something I really wanted to share with you guys. And I think the big takeaway is especially for people my age, it's that our idea of time needs to change once we leave college, and we need to realize that things aren't going to happen neatly in a 4 year span or a 1 year span. It's going to take more than 5 years, more than 10 years, more than 15 years. And the sooner we realize that's how things are, and that's how it's going to be, the less pressure you feel, the less stress you feel, the less urgency you feel, because now you have the freedom to operate within those times, and you have the freedom to move and to try new things and to go on a whole bunch of different tangents and things like that. So that was what I wanted to share this week. Like I said, the big takeaway, shift that perspective, shift that relationship with time from a, college type relationship, where it's a little bit easier to be patient because you're only working, like I said, within a year to 4 years, to, now having a longer term TV show type relationship with time, where things are going to pan out and you have to trust that they're going to pan out, but you also have to realize they're not going to pan out they're not necessarily going to pan out, I should say, immediately. It's going to take a lot of deposits in the bank. It's going to take trusting the process and putting in that work to do that. So like I said, just wanted to share that as kind of our opening thought here, and we'd love to hear anyone's thoughts on that as well. Feel free to, comment on this video or drop us a line on social, and would love to hear kind of your relationship with time and how that's changing. Also want to let you guys know a little quick personal plug. Homecoming, the t-shirts, and I mentioned it, this is one of our first t-shirts, Central City Running Club. These ones came in for our Colorado natives. Those shirts came in as well. They say native across the chest. It's a really, really cool t-shirt. We're going to have the final 3 of our first 5 styles hopefully coming in this week. So if you're interested, definitely go to the website shophomecoming.com and take a look at all of those different things and take a look at all those different t-shirts. And if you find one you like, maybe you buy one as well. So really exciting about that. But again, it's a patience game with that. That's what it is at the end of the day. It's, realizing that the end of the world isn't not having a lot of pre-orders. That's just the first 4 minutes of the game. So really excited to see what the rest of the game looks like with Homecoming, to get the rest of these t-shirts in and to start, really getting great graphics on, great tees on, great people. So going to be a lot of fun. And now we're going to go into our interview with Austin Lienemann. Like I said, going to be talking about a whole bunch of different things. Really excited to do that. So let's get to the interview. Okay, so now here it is, our interview with Austin Lienemann. Austin, how you doing today?
Good. How about you, man?
Doing
it's
pretty
good to be here,
dude.
man. I'm
good
excited.
to have you,
I'm
man.
so excited for
I know,
this.
second ever guest. Had to have Dad first.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little upset that Dad was first.
I apologize.
But I get it.
I apologize for that.
I get it.
Hey, your
almost
second guest.
Father's Day, too.
Almost Father's Day. Father's Day tomorrow. Thanks for reminding me. Hey,
See,
gonna
did
remember.
you buy your present already?
I did. Don't worry.
Hey, that's good. That's good, man.
Hey, so really want to start off. I mean, tell us a little about yourself. I talked a little bit about you. Obviously we had been best friends since high school.
Yep.
You played golf in college. Mm-hmm. Now you're starting in the professional world as a professional golfer or whatever. I don't know what the exact title is, but I mean, tell us a little about yourself, how you got here, all that good stuff.
Yeah. So obviously you and me both went to Arapahoe High School.
Mm-hmm.
So both started there. Played 3 sports there. Really enjoyed my time there. Spirit Broadcasting Club.
We did that. That was fun, man. That was fun.
Fun announcing football games, basketball games.
That was a blast.
But no, that was fun. And then I've always been in love with the game of golf. Been playing since, I can't even remember. You know? Super little. So it was a blast. And I just decided, why not get into the profession? I thought that'd be good. And so played college golf. 2 years at UNC, 3 years at Fort Lewis College, and man, it was a fun time, and it really led me into the position I'm at right now. We're one of the assistant pros at Club Pradera. And man, it's been just taking off. It's going by fast.
Fast, man. Nice.
Yeah, it's been fun. So professional circuit's a little different, but it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
That's awesome, man. And maybe we'll start from the beginning now. Okay. So how we became friends, I don't know if there was an exact moment, but I feel like it kind of crystallized over fantasy football.
It did.
Yeah.
It did. Actually, do you remember that time we were driving back home after our first fantasy football draft? Oh, my God.
I know. We were driving back, and for all the listeners, for all the viewers, we're driving back. This is where I think we had a minivan at the time, too.
Oh, yes,
we had
did.
a minivan
Yep,
at the
100%.
time. And so we're driving back from this draft, and my dad's driving us back, so we're in the minivan. So 3 dudes in a minivan, just a weird kind of dynamic to begin with, because it's normally reserved for mom to drive it.
Right.
And just the entire drive,
it was
Dad is ripping my picks.
Oh my gosh, it was the best.
I'm going line item, quarterback, running back, all of that, and Dad the entire time just destroying my picks. And maybe that's when we're like, okay, we cool. we cool, we friends now.
No, that was the best, man. That's when everything kind of kick-started. Then obviously Spirit Broadcast.
Together, I know, yeah.
More even that same year. So, we've had a friendship for
quite a while. We've had a friendship for a long time.
It's been good.
I'm
glad you're back in Colorado.
I'm glad to be back in Colorado.
You're not going back to Boston anytime soon.
Hey,
if it's a business trip, I get it.
Okay, I appreciate that.
But if you stay there any longer, I will fly up there and I'll come get you.
Hey, that's good. I'll accept that. But no, we've been friends for, an incredible amount of time. A lot of fun times. Playing video games, a whole lot of different stuff, broadcasting games, and that was just a blast. And we did track both of our senior year. That was nuts.
Baseball player here runs 800 meters track.
It was crazy.
And he's really good at it.
It was crazy, man.
Ends up running the state meet that year. Senior,
Shocker.
who would have thought?
I don't think anyone did.
Baseball player turn into an 800-meter guy in track and field at state track.
I think the most jarring part was when I would get, you're in the relay, you're starting to kind of angle in between everyone and start to receive the baton, and I'm looking at dudes who got, legs up to my eyeballs.
Yep, absolutely.
And they're like that long, just the legs, and then there's a whole other torso and body, above that. And meanwhile, I'm like sitting there like pudgy, small to the ground. It's like a Smurf is racing with them.
Not the usual 800 body build.
Yeah.
But hey, it worked.
It defied all laws of logic.
It did, especially with the T-Rex arms when you were running.
T-Rex arms, man.
It was the best.
It was the best.
But it was so much fun.
But just a ton of fun memories, and we could do a whole podcast of just like counting down top 10 moments. I feel like that would be,
we 100% could
be wild. But one thing I did want to talk, you talked about it, 3-sport athlete, but an incredibly, maybe this is incredibly is the wrong kind of verb to use there, or adjective, excuse me, like an unconventional 3-sport athlete. You did golf, wrestling, and track.
You can't get anywhere than that.
What's that like?
It was. So I play. I mean, you grew up playing a bunch of different sports. And for some reason, my dad was a head track coach, still is a head track coach at Arapahoe. So I've always loved track. I've been wrestling since I was 6 years old at the Arapahoe wrestling program, the junior thing that they have, and then obviously golf. I've been playing it since I can't even remember. So. Everything just kind of fell into place, and it worked out that all three were different seasons, you know? And they're so different dynamic. I mean, golf is individual, but there's also a team aspect to it.
Exactly.
And then wrestling, it's physical. It's beating each other up, giving each other bloody noses. I broke a kid's ankle during a match. It's a totally physical sport, and I loved every second of it. Just totally different than track or golf. But there's still that individual and team aspect to it as well. And then track and field, it's super individual, but at the same time there's relays where it's a team aspect, and then scoring points for your team. So everything, all three sports, they're so different, but at the same time, they had that aspect that I really seemed to love, was the team aspect, but still individual.
Exactly.
And I think that's what drove me to those three sports. And then ended up being successful in all three of them. Just kind of got lucky at times, and just fell into the right spots and everything, So, but yeah, it was. I can't imagine a different high school experience. Three sports, spear broadcast, hanging out with you, hanging out with all the guys we used to in high school. It was a blast, man. It was so much fun.
Oh my God, it was incredible. And I think one of the things that astounded me, kind of watching you go through all those different sports, was the physical requirements.
Oh yeah.
Golf, it's a very different physical build. You're having to do that in the fall. And then all of a sudden you start cutting weight for wrestling.
You remember me during lunchtime?
Oh my God, I have a vivid memory in my head, and I still I don't know why it's burned into my head. But you were at lunch, and I got a sandwich. A little bit of a bottle of water, something in there. I got a Kit Kat bar, and then I look over and I see you, and you open your lunch, and it's a Tupperware with water and peppers in there. And I'm like, oh, that's cool, a snack. And you're like, no, that's the lunch.
Yeah,
that's the whole meal.
I remember, wrestling, it's different for everybody. Everybody kind of has their different ways of, gaining weight or losing weight. Most of the time it's losing weight in wrestling. And yeah, my method, man, I had one of those bag of oatmeals for breakfast. I'd have turkey slices and celery or peppers or whatever, like you said, for lunch, and that was it. Literally turkey slices instead of no bread, no nothing. Maybe every once in a while I'll get a little crazy, have some peanut butter on my celery, a little crazy. But then dinner I'd have a chicken breast or salmon and call it a day. And then I'm doing so many different things with wrestling. I'm trying to get stronger, but at the same time lose weight. So I'm lifting weights, I'm running a ton to lose the weight. I remember running miles on the treadmill, wearing 3 hoodies, 3 pairs of sweatpants, just trying to sweat out weight. Because you look at me now, I don't have that much to lose. Right? And so that's all I could do is lose the water weight.
That's nuts.
But yeah, it was crazy. And then you get to track season where you need as much calories basically as you can, because you're wasting all of it when you're sprinting on the track and all that kind of stuff. So totally different different body shapes.
No, exactly.
It was crazy.
Well, what's that like then? You're literally going from wrestling where it's like you said, it's pretty much all of the water weight that can go. You are at whatever percent body fat, and now you're having to go from what is essentially I don't, zero is maybe not the right word, but now you're having to go
close,
pretty close to zero, and now you're having to, not bulk up, but now you're having to put back on muscle to run the 400, run the hurdles. I mean, do all of that stuff. I mean, what is that's got to be crazy.
The crazy part, I think, it took a lot of discipline to do it, obviously. But like when you're training for wrestling or track, one of the big things, and I still love it. I have a Mountain Dew actually sitting underneath me here. Is I like drinking soda all the time. Yeah. When you get to wrestling and track season, no soda. But golf season, it don't matter. I can drink whatever.
Exactly.
I can drink whatever I want. Energy drinks, Red Bulls, whatever. You can't do that during wrestling season. No. So it took a lot of discipline just to like sit there and be like, okay, I know this is really good. Mm-hmm. Dang it, I can't have it. Yeah. Even when at home I see my parents eating steaks for dinner, I'm like, I got a little chicken breast.
You're like, it's just chicken and broccoli for right now.
That's basically it, So took a lot of discipline, but I think that's what helped me in every sport as well. I mean, wrestling, there's a ton of discipline. Golf, there's a ton of discipline, and track there is too. I mean, when you're running the hurdles, you've got to have discipline going over the hurdles. Mm-hmm. Or when you're running the 400 meters, you have to waste the energy at the right times.
Exactly.
Or even in the 800,
No, exactly.
I mean, there's certain times when you waste the energy, and there's certain times when you try to conserve it. And I think that's really what helped me in all the sports was learn how to move through all that and kind of figure out my body and say, hey, I don't actually need this. What's going to be best for me? Yeah. It was fun. It was crazy times around the rapid.
I don't know if I would call it fun, but I from the outside looking in, I was like, ooh, I'm like, I would not be able to do that. But it's a testament to your athletic ability and your ability to do that. And like I said, it just, sometimes I think about it and I'm like, that is wild to be.
It's totally
to go from, sport to sport to sport. And I think the wrestling to track jump is probably the toughest jump.
Yeah, it really was, because wrestling shape is so much different than track shape.
Exactly, yeah.
Golf, you don't really have to be in shape, quote unquote. You look at the guys now like Rory and Bryson DeChambeau, they're all super in shape and everything. Totally. But that's still a different type of in shape than guys that are running track or wrestling. Yeah. Wrestling, you're trying to be in shape with all your muscles. Everything's trying to last as long as it can so you can hold people tight or you can do whatever, Where track, it's all in the legs. Yeah. Well, wrestling doesn't have a ton to do with endurance to the legs. It's more upper body stuff. And so it was a totally different type of training and stuff. And I was still doing track training during wrestling season just to have a little bit of an advantage to be running fast in track. But also at the same time it helped me lose weight in wrestling too. So I mean there was a benefit to both, but it's totally different shapes and totally different workouts and all that kind of stuff. But it was a blast, man. Yeah. I wouldn't change it for the world. I'd go back and do it again, man. It was a lot of fun.
And this is something, again, I was never a multi-sport athlete. I don't even pretend.
You were baseball
and track, but it was, one, it wasn't at the same time. It was, same, different seasons. So I guess, what I found is a little bit when I went, ran track was there were a couple of baseball skills that carried over a little bit, not in the sense of, pure speed, because a lot of that is learned, but in the sense of, building endurance, being able to, repetition after repetition, still bring that same, level of endurance, competition, whatever you want to call it. Right. Did you find that, between golf, track, and wrestling, that there were some skills that you would take in wrestling and you could bring back to golf or to track, or did you feel that they were all maybe, in their own kind of isolated?
It's funny because they seem so different, right? But a lot of it does come back in every sport, whether it's wrestling, golf, or track. Everything kind of, the body wants to do kind of the same things all the time. And for like me with golf, wrestling really helped that for my core strength, my upper body strength, and just being able to hit the ball a little bit further. Track, I'm working on lower body stuff. I'm working on hip, how flexible, how flexible my hips are, and how fast I can get over the hurdles, or just as fast as I can get down. That all carries over into golf. And,
totally.
Golf doesn't really carry over into other sports except for the mental part.
Totally.
On the golf course, you have to be super focused and not lose your cool super fast, and you can't lose your cool super fast in a track race or in a wrestling match. I mean, when you're running track, if I hit one hurdle, I can't get upset and just quit.
Totally.
I got to keep going. Yeah. And golf trained me for that. Wrestling, I've had bloody noses. I've hyperextended elbow. I mean, I've had all these injuries that I'm like, you know what, I need to push through it because I'm going to help my team out, but I'm also going to help myself out and be stronger for it. You know? So I think golf really helped me mentally with all that kind of stuff. So all of them seem different, but in ways they do actually translate into each sport.
No, exactly. And one of the things that I want to ask now is, I mean, you played these 3 in high school, and you played them at an incredibly high level. I mean, you deserve all the kudos in the world for being able to play them, at the varsity level. I mean, from freshman year on. Yeah. What made you want to choose golf? Because you were a good wrestler, you were a really good track athlete. Yeah. And you were a great golfer. And what, at the end of the day, kind of when presented those 3 options, why did you want to go with golf?
I've been telling myself since I was little, to my grandpa and to myself, like I said, I want to play college golf. Yeah. That's one of my goals I had. I wanted to get it done. I wanted to do it. And honestly, I had more offers to run track and field at places. With golf, I had to send my swing video out and show my name to people. Yeah. And then some letters came, not very many, you know. But track, man, there was a while there. I really thought track was going to be my college sport. Yeah. But at the end of the day, I found a school up in South Dakota that I was super happy with. It didn't work out. A coach got fired for reasons. And then UNC came calling and said, hey, you want to come play golf? And I had to jump at the opportunity. Totally. I hadn't signed anywhere for track. Like I said, I signed up in South Dakota for golf, but something just stood out to me. I was like, I've said that I'm going to not run track, play golf in college. Yeah. I got to do it. I can't give up on that dream, Not that if I ran college track, did I give up on my golf dream? Not really, because I'm still playing a college sport. Yeah. But it really made me think I got to do it. I got to jump at the opportunity. So that's really cool. And I had my dad on for the first episode, and he played college golf. Yep. Really good golfer. Really good golfer. What was your college golf experience like? Man, it was a blast. Yeah. I mean, every second of it. The travel sometimes sucked when you're sitting in the van with 6 other guys and all that kind of stuff. And it ain't a big van. Let's put it that way. No, it's a small. We're going. It's super. You got a bunch of clubs and bags. It ain't big. No, it ain't big at all. But no, I mean, I loved every second of that. I had really good coaches all the way through. I got super lucky that way that really cared about me and my future, not only in golf, but outside of golf. Yeah. And that was a big thing too. But yeah, I mean, everything just kind of worked itself into place, and golf was just the best thing for me. And I made so many new friends and great friends that I will have for a lifetime. Yeah. And it was the best experience ever. Just week in and week out, getting to play golf. I mean, you can't complain about that. I gotta say, that was something my dad said. He's like, it's pretty much the best college sport that you could play, because you get to play something that, first of all, people play for enjoyment. Correct. And it's, from a physicality standpoint, I should say, it's not like you're banging bodies in the paint in basketball. You're not having to worry about a defensive end coming around the edge and just blindsiding you, absolutely. Or having to go over the middle. Yep. Like it's a lot of fun, and obviously it's tough because you're playing at the college level, but from a physicality standpoint and just from an enjoyment standpoint, it's probably the most fun college sport to play. I was gonna say it's hard to not, if you love something, and this is for any sport. But I think it's just different with golf. If you really enjoy playing golf, you can play anywhere with anybody, and you have a blast doing it. Yeah. And like you said, you're not getting lit up by that D end over there. No. Because my tackle missed the block. Yeah. I'm not physically. Yeah. Do I hurt? My back hurts every once in a while. Yeah. Yeah. Come on. Big whoop. Yeah. Like, at the end of the day, it's not a bad thing. Yeah, it's not a bad thing. So I mean, it was. It was by far the best experience I could have asked for. That's awesome. If I could do it again, I probably would without the school part. That's that's a great. I don't know if we must have ESP or something like that, because that was the next thing I was going to ask you. Is you've transitioned from you played all growing up, you played in high school, you played in college. Now you're doing golf as a career. Yep. You mean, and again, you're starting off, but what's that been like? How has your relationship with the game changed? How's it been? Very similar. What's that been like to now be doing this
for lack of a better word, the real world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's actually grown my love for the game.
Yeah.
And it sounds weird because I'm doing more. I got to do more schoolwork to get my PGA license. But I'm so excited to do that. I'm like so excited for that next step, you know, and really move further in my career. And so that's super exciting to me. And, you know, you're around members at a golf course, at least I am, because I'm at a private course, and I've given lessons and all that kind of stuff. And, man, to see them hit the ball better and all that kind of stuff, it makes me enjoy the game more.
Yeah.
Because these are guys that sometimes struggle to hit the ball, sometimes struggle to break 80 or 90, whatever it is, you know. And that it's so much fun. Like just the other day, I gave a guy a lesson. He couldn't hit the broadside of a barn.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, he went and played a round right after our lesson, and he shot the best round of his life. He
Incredible.
shot 95,
Wow. Yeah.
you know? And not really because of me, because he just kind of got out of his own head. But I mean, listening to somebody come into the pro shop right after and be like, dude, that was the best round ever. Like, that was so much fun. I can't believe it, blah, blah, blah. I mean, that was fun. That grew a lot of love for the game for me. And so now I'm super excited to start playing professional golf and try that circuit just to see what happens. But if I didn't have that at Pradera, I don't think I would love the game as much because I don't know where else to go with the game if I didn't have what I have right now.
Yeah.
So it's been a blast, and I thank Pradera and everybody there to allow me to do that and grow my love for the game.
Yeah. What's it been like teaching? I mean, you know, again, for most of our lives we've been on, and I know recently for me as someone who's just now picking up golf, on the receiving end of a lot of lessons.
Yes.
Now you're the teacher. What is that weird? What is that like?
It's so different.
Yeah.
It's so different because for a long time I was the one getting taught.
Yeah.
And so you really have to look at the little things and really key in on the little things.
Yeah.
And sometimes swing videos, like if you take with your phone or whatever, you know, make a difference, right? But at the same time, sometimes you as a golf professional have to see it.
Yeah.
And so it's actually changed the way I've thought about the game.
Okay.
Because you have to get so meticulous with somebody sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's so different and so much fun for me to get to pick apart a golf swing like that.
Yeah.
And it's helped my golf swing too because of it. But it is an absolute blast watching people all of a sudden hit a golf ball straight or far.
It's the best feeling in the
world.
world.
And they get just the biggest smile on their face. You know, it's like, man, I did that. I helped that person enjoy this game a little bit more. And that's what us as PGA professionals try to do, is just try to help people enjoy the game more.
Yeah.
Because it is a fun game.
No, totally.
Yes, can it be frustrating at times? Absolutely.
Incredibly.
You know, because you're just starting,
I'm just
right?
starting, yeah. I shanked a bunch of balls today.
Right, but it's frustrating, but at the same time, it draws you back in every
No,
single
exactly,
time.
yeah.
And so if you can hit the ball better, it just keeps drawing you in and drawing you in and drawing you in until you're stuck. I mean, you're like, what else do I do now? Like, all I want to do is play golf, you know, and that's your brother right now.
Yeah.
He's been drawn into it, but that's what we as professionals try to do. And for me to be able to say, hey, I'm part of that. I'm helping these guys enjoy the game. Yeah. Dude, it's a blast.
Well, I think that's part of the reason I'm a week in, so I don't pretend to have any. In fact, I have no answers right now to golf. But I think that's what's kind of drawn me into golf is, you know, I've seen some kind of similarities between that and entrepreneurship and business, and that, like, you know, I could get the crap kicked out of me in a business perspective.
Absolutely.
Or, you know, as I've been having a lot this week, from a golf perspective.
Right.
But I, like, get the crap kicked out. I'm like, wow, that was really shitty.
Yeah.
Like, that sucked. We're allowed to swear on the podcast, by the way. So
Okay.
Don't
good.
say anything bad,
Okay.
but we're allowed.
Yeah.
You're allowed to swear for
Okay.
the most part. But it's really, like, that's shitty.
Yeah.
But then, you know, I go home, you know, whether it's from the range or, you know, get out of my, you know, office, and I'm like, then I'm like, I want to go back again tomorrow and do it though. And but I think that's for me why, you know, I like golf, and you saying that kind of really brought that up, is that, you know, in business, like I said, I'll get the crap kicked out of me, you know, kind of settle down and be like, well, we could always try this tomorrow, or we could always do that. And I think that's the fun part about golf for me, is that I could go shank a lot of balls on the range or, you know, top a lot of balls, which I did the very first time. And then I leave and I'm like, but tomorrow I got a swing thought tomorrow, and I want to go test it out. So, but that's the fun part.
You know, and I think golf has a lot to do with life in general. You know, you can hit a bad shot. Yeah. You hit one good shot all day.
Yeah.
You want to come back and play again.
Oh, exactly.
But it's the same thing in business. Hey, I might have struck out with 5 of these guys trying to help me get my business started or whatever. But that one guy.
Says, no, exactly.
Hey, I want you to actually try this.
Yeah.
I want you to do it.
Yeah.
Here's the money or whatever it comes down to, You're like, oh, let's keep it going. Let's keep it going.
We're going back.
It just draws you in, and then golf has a lot of life lessons. How to be patient, how to be humble, how to be all this kind of stuff, and it just keeps drawing you in that way because you want to learn more about life.
Yeah.
Everybody's always learning.
Yeah.
And that's one thing to learn when you're in the real world is just how to be a better person, a human, or just how to better go throughout your day, how to make things easier for you. And that's what golf is. How to figure out how to make stuff easier for you and stuff like that, So that's why I love the game. Because
it's a blast.
It's a blast because there's so many different aspects to the game and how it can be applied to life.
Totally. So this will kind of be the last thing before we get into the rapid fire, which is the fun part.
Okay.
It's Father's Day tomorrow, like you said.
Yep, absolutely.
Want to talk about, your dad was a teacher at Arapahoe, went to, high school, was your track coach.
Yep.
Different, in reflecting on it now that I'm kind of starting to play golf, which I feel like I've been mentioning way too much to this point. You can clearly tell that I'm new to it.
You're excited about it.
I'm excited about it.
Excited
but
about
it. I was kind of reflecting on this with my dad, and that golf is what I call our other family business,
right.
And now I'm just starting that. So now he's for lack of a better word, my coach, the person who's helping me. What was that dynamic like for you and your dad? Being not only a teacher, and I think you took his class, right? You took his class, so not only his son, a student, and one of his players.
Yeah.
I mean, what was that like? What did you learn?
So before we even get into that, okay, I gotta bring up a story.
Go for it.
It's hilarious. And it's with my dad.
Yeah.
I'm sitting in his class one day, and for probably 3 weeks we had been doing homework.
Yeah.
But he hadn't checked it.
Yeah.
So one night I'm just swamped with other homework.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'm not doing his homework tonight. He ain't gonna check.
Yeah. Oh no. Famous last words.
He checked. He checked, and he comes by. He's doing people. He's checking them off. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna try to pull out an old piece of homework.
Yeah. Didn't work. Dang it.
He noticed it right away. He goes, oh, that's good.
Yeah.
My son can't even do my homework. He said that to the entire class.
That's
it was the
nuts.
most embarrassing thing ever.
Yeah.
But, I mean, besides that, man, it was an absolute blast getting to hang out with my dad every day.
Yeah.
I didn't see him in the halls every day, and I only took his class for, I guess it was a year. I guess it was my whole senior year I took his class. But, it's something that not everybody gets to do.
Totally.
A lot of parents, whether it's mom or dad, teach like their soccer or coach their soccer team or their baseball team or their football team, whatever it is,
Yeah.
And so they get to enjoy that. I got to enjoy that my entire high school career.
Yeah.
My dad was a pretty hands-off parent before that, but then obviously when he's coaching track, he's got to be pretty hands-on.
Exactly, yeah.
And I think the cool part for me was he didn't pick favorites. And I think he learned a lot of that from his dad, my Grandpa Larry, who just passed away. Love you, Grandpa. But he learned a lot from his dad as well.
Yeah.
Because his dad was his track coach at a Heritage High School. And so he learned a lot of that, and it was cool to see that dynamic. I mean, at one point, there was 3 Lienemans at track practice or at track meets, and that was a lot of fun. But just being able to hang out with my dad the whole day basically was an absolute blast, and I got to see just a totally different side of him.
Exactly.
I've seen him coach for so long. I've seen him teach for so long. I got to actually see a totally different side of him through other people's eyes. Yeah. But it was in my own eyes now. Yeah. I got to see him be that coach. I got to see him be that teacher and see what he enjoys doing, what he loves doing.
Totally.
He loves helping the younger kids or the younger generations. He loves doing that because he thinks he's helping them grow up and live a better life. Yeah. And so every day I got to see him with a smile on his face coaching and teaching. Yeah. It was the best experience ever. That for sure I would do 100 times over. It was
That's
the
so
best.
cool, man.
It was the best.
But I know what you mean. It's a, you kind of grow up with one relationship with your dad, and then, you kind of move into this world where like now you're kind of sort of in his world, and it's more of the professional side. And it's something that I've seen, with my dad, being here, and we have all of our home offices are here. So like now I'm not only going to him for father-son advice, but now I'm like, okay, here's a business question I have for you, and it's like it's a totally different fun dynamic, but it's something that I think not a lot of people get the chance to do.
And you get to see your side of the dad, or if your dad that enjoys doing what he's doing. He enjoys selling the clothes. Sure, are some days bad? Yeah, that's every job you're ever going to have, right? But he does most of the time enjoys going out and talking to people and being that business guy.
Yeah.
You get to see that part of him, which is so special.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that can't say that, and so it's something that you should cherish.
Totally.
For as long as you can.
Totally.
Because mine with my dad is over.
Yeah.
But just because I'm out of high school, now you're in the business world where your dad is. Enjoy it, because it's a lot of fun.
Mine's just starting.
And you get to learn just so much too. I think a lot of the stuff like he does he does coaching for track, even though it's two different sports. Yeah. I've taken to the golf course because I know when you need to encourage somebody and when you need to tell somebody, hey buddy, you suck right now. Let's figure it out.
No,
you know
exactly.
what I'm saying? And so I've taken all of that into consideration, and it's been just an absolute blast.
That's awesome, man. I appreciate you sharing all that stuff, because it's like you said, just on the tail end of it with high school, I'm getting right into it. So
and trust me, it sucks at times. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
But
but
I think kind of having that relationship of father son or just family. There are moments where my dad and I will go back and forth on something, and it just is like
it drives you up a wall.
It drives me to the outside world. People think like, oh no, they're fighting. It's like no, that's just it's how we communicate, and we're allowed to communicate very openly like that. Yeah. Because we're father son.
Correct.
And it adds such a different layer and such a fun layer to it. So no, I appreciate you sharing that.
No, it's the best experience you'll ever have in life is working with your dad.
It's a blast.
It seems weird right now, but it is. It really is. You'll look back and be like, man, I learned a ton from my dad because I worked with him for a year or 2 years, whatever it ends up being.
Exactly.
It is. It's an absolute wonder that I was able to do that. Man. So
okay, you ready for rapid fire? We got to wrap up. We got barbecue to head to. We got downstairs griddle. It's firing up.
Some steaks,
got some steaks. So don't want to keep you too long from that. But okay, so rapid fire. We're still kind of working on the name for. I don't know if I call it hot five, take five. Okay. We're just gonna. I'm gonna ask you questions, and you're just gonna give me your kind of ideal or whatever you're thinking.
Yep.
So first question, I asked my dad, ideal foursome. You can pick. It's you and 3 other people. They can be either golfers, athletes, celebrities, whoever. Who's part of your foursome, and where are you playing?
Oh, and where am I
playing? And where are you playing?
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not gonna say your dad because he didn't say me.
I know he didn't say you. So Chris is
downstairs
off the
during
list.
That. He's done. I don't want to play golf with him anymore. No, I'm just kidding. I love Chris. Okay, ideal foursome. Tiger Woods has to be in there.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna go all golfers.
Okay, go for it.
I'm gonna go Tiger Woods, Jack Nicklaus, and if I could, Arnold Palmer.
Wow. Okay, and where are you guys gonna play?
Augusta. It has to be Augusta.
That's true.
It has to be.
That's really good.
But, that's the 3 greatest golfers of all time. That's the one, excuse me, that people look up to the most.
Definitely.
And all 3 of them changed the game.
Yeah.
Absolutely changed the game. And so I would love to just pick their brains on the game of golf. So that's who my ideal foursome would be.
Little bonus one. We're not going to include this, but you guys are driving carts, only 2 people per cart. Who's sitting shotgun with you?
I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I'm going to say...
It's a tough one.
Man, it's supposed to be rapid fire. We're supposed to just wrap it
up. No, it's okay. We got time. Who is it? What are you thinking?
I got to go Tiger.
I like it. I like it. I respect it.
Jack and Arnie had a great relationship. I'll let them hang out.
Gotcha.
But they'll still talk to me every once in a while, right? But I got to pick apart Tiger's brain.
I respect
that.
I respect that. Okay, so this next one, we've obviously, you and I have played, a ton of video games.
Okay.
Logged a lot of hours.
Okay.
You can, or I should phrase it like this. What's your favorite video game of all time?
Oh, Tiger Woods 05. That's
Tiger Woods
an
05.
Easy
what console is that on?
Xbox. It was the original Xbox.
The original Xbox. Okay.
Dude, I'm not kidding you. I spent thousands of hours on that game.
Okay.
I mean, like, Tiger Woods 05 came out. I got it when it was brand new.
Yeah.
I didn't get another version until 2010. I played that until my Xbox died.
That's incredible.
I mean, like, I couldn't turn it on anymore.
Yeah.
I would play that all the time. That is by far my favorite game. Xbox, please let me download that game again, please. It was the best.
Well, they're coming out with 2K21 here soon.
I'm so excited. DJ,
the
game looks so cool.
I'm ready for it, man.
I can't wait to design my own course.
As soon as we get it, dude, we'll log a lot of hours on that guy. We're going to log a lot of hours. Yeah. Okay, so like we said, we've talked about you played golf, track, and wrestling in high school. Okay. You can't play any of those sports. What's the sport you play? And if there's a position, what position do you play?
Ooh. It'd be between baseball and football.
Okay.
I really enjoyed football.
Gotcha.
If I played football, it'd be wide receiver.
Got it. Okay.
Baseball.
Yeah.
Center field.
Center field. That's so
just
good,
like my MLB.
Just like your MLB guy. I know. We got to do a little bit. We got to get a little bit of content around that on there. Okay.
Absolutely.
I like it. Okay. What's your number one swing tip right now?
Number one swing tip. Ooh, I was not ready for that one. Number one swing tip. A lot of people say keep your eye on the ball.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the right way to say it.
Mm-hmm.
I think people stand up too much when they take their backswing. If you stand up like that, all of a sudden the ball, your club, instead of being on the ground, is now up in the air.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You're never going to hit a ball that way.
Totally.
So when people say keep your eye on the ball, really you need to keep your head almost down or feel like it's staying in the same spot the whole time, because then you're going to find more solid contact.
Nice. Okay, I'm going to do one more. We're going to go 6 questions here. We've probably done 7. This is a lot. We got to figure out what the rapid fire segment is going to look like, truthfully.
You got to figure out your 5 questions.
I got to figure out my 5 questions. Well, I have them written here, but I got one more, and then before we get to this last one, I want to do this one. We played a lot of fantasy football. We're definitely going to have you on as a guest when we get closer to fantasy football season.
Like that.
You have the number 1 pick in this year's draft. Who are you picking?
Ooh, I'm going to go Patrick Mahomes.
I love it. Unconventional, but I love it.
Unconventional. I'm going to go Patrick Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say Lamar Jackson.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, right? Yeah, Lamar Jackson, yeah. I'm spacing. All good. Patrick Mahomes is going to get more passing yards and more passing touchdowns.
I love it, dude. That's a good pick.
More points for me.
More points for you. Okay.
And then I can keep winning.
Okay.
Know?
Yeah, that's true. You played. Last year wasn't great, but
I won this last year.
I won last year.
Oh, you won?
I did.
Oh, I won the year before that.
I was gonna say, I definitely won last year.
Actually, I think I came last year. I think.
But hey, it's
redemption,
worst to first, redemption. Yep. Okay, so final rapid fire question of the really poorly put together rapid fire segment. Since we're gonna be going out and grilling, you're having people over to grill. You can pick anything. So money is we're taking out all of the constraints.
Okay.
What's your go-to thing? What's your go-to thing you're gonna grill?
T-bone steak.
T-bone steak.
Ooh,
okay.
Big one too.
Big one. Okay.
Good 24-ounce T-bone steak.
Gotcha.
Oh, they're so good.
Okay.
I love T-bones.
I like it, dude. I respect that. Okay, so with that, we've got some grilling to do.
Yeah, let's go grill.
This is gonna wrap up the show. So Austin, thank you for coming on and being a killer guest. This was an awesome thing. We're going to have you on a lot more.
Good.
So that'll be a lot of fun.
I like it.
For all the listeners, for all the viewers, stay tuned. We're going to have more episodes. We're going to have another episode next week, which is going to be a lot of fun. Thank you so much for tuning in to episode 2 of Open Mic. Austin, my friend.
Absolute pleasure, my man.
I appreciate it. We're going to go grill, and we will see you guys later.